Welcome to another episode of the Sipping and Tripping podcast, where we connect with amazing people. Today's topic is travel culture. I am your host, Desmond Black, and the person that's sipping and tripping with me today is an entrepreneur, a book author, a travel visionary who turned a passion for Japan into two thriving brands. She has won the 2025 Luxury Travel Award and an APAC Industry Award. She is none other than Miss Nikki. How you doing, and how's your week so far?
I'm doing amazing. My week is going really well. So yeah, it's all good. It's still sunny, even though I'm in Amsterdam, and we're not well known for having the best autumn. So I'm happy that it's not raining and everything's going well right now.
That's good. That's good. Okay. So on this platform, I like to conversate, educate, and entertain.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the goal, always the mission. Before we get started, do you have your own podcast?
No, I don't have my own podcast, but
Oh,
I
okay,
do
okay,
a lot of other people's podcasts, though.
okay. Nothing wrong with that. I just like to, help support and things of that nature. I like to spread the word and try to get other people to be in tune with others. So that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, but if
Um,
you search my name on Spotify or YouTube, you'll find lots of episodes where I've been a guest on other people's podcasts.
Okay, I got to check some of those out. That's I like that. Yeah. So I started doing podcasting like the summer of last year. I want to say probably like March, April, June, something like that. So I've been watching other people's podcasts and just learning from that, and just and it's good. Like on my downtime, it's good to hear what other people got to say.
Yeah, I
Sometimes,
mean, yeah, so
yeah.
many inspirational people out there that are doing great things. So
Okay. For I appreciate you for gracing me with your presence today. It's all guests are always welcome. So I mentioned that you're an entrepreneur. Can
mhm.
you tell me and the viewers about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So in 2011, I moved with my then husband to Tokyo.
Okay.
He is Japanese, but he grew up in Amsterdam. So it was always his dream to live in Japan for a while. So at one point, he proposed that to me, like, how would you feel about living in Japan for like 2, 3 years, and then we'll go back? It's just a experience because I've never lived in Japan as a Japanese person. So I was like, yeah, sure. See if you can find a job. I'll come with you. I mean, 2, 3 years. Worst case scenario, I'll just be a housewife, and it'll be fine. And I thought,
Okay.
I have a bachelor degree. My English is not too bad. I mean, Tokyo, New York, London, Paris is all same level, right? Everyone will speak English. It will be fine. So I came to Tokyo and tried to get a job, and everywhere I went, it was like, "So you're fluent in Japanese, right?" And I would be like, not exactly." And they would be like, "Ah, we'll call you, we'll call you."
Right.
So yeah, so then I thought, oh, I'll just study Japanese, and then after 1 year, I will be fluent, and I will be able to get a job. So 2 years in, I still wasn't fluent in Japanese. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't want to be a housewife all this time, and I don't want to study Japanese forever. It's like, so yeah, I want to do something else with my life. So then a friend of mine came over from the Netherlands. She's a flight attendant. And she said, why don't you become a tour guide? I was like, tour guide? I know nothing about tourism. How am I going to do that? So
Right.
she said, oh, you just create this rudimentary website and you make sure you have an email address and the rest will follow. So
Right.
kind of to prove her wrong and to see, I did it. It was a shitty idea. I I created the website and the email address, and I thought, okay, now I can rub it in their face. And it was silly to suggest, and it's come to nothing. But actually, after 1 week, I got my first client sending me an email like, "Oh, I see that you do tours in Tokyo. I'd love to book a tour with you." So I was literally blown away. Like, oh, I was so not expecting that. What am I gonna do next? I didn't prepare anything.
Right.
So that's how I kind of got started. So in the beginning, people would ask like, "Oh, what is this amazing thing here?" And I would just make something up, and they would be like,
Right.
"Oh, I think there's a sign. Let's go over and have a look." And then I would be like, "No, come with me. Let's go over there. Look there. There's this nice thing." And so yeah, so
Right.
in the beginning, it was still a bit. Trying to find my way and not always being completely truthful and just making up interesting stories to people. But then along the way, of course, I learned all the history and I learned everything about Japanese culture. And of course, living with a Japanese person is you kind of get to know a bit more. And also, my husband, he was working for a Japanese company, so he would tell me all these stories about doing business in Japan and his co-workers. Like the first day he arrived at the office, they had a hard hat for him, a helmet,
Right.
and he's a banker. And he was like, "Look at this helmet, this construction helmet that has my name printed on the side. It's so funny." So I was like, "Okay, so explain to me, why do you need the construction helmet when you're a banker?" And he was like,
Right.
"Oh, yeah, it's because of earthquakes, so I can put it on and be safe in case something falls on my head." I was like, "Okay, that sounds very encouraging."
So
But
so
yeah.
they have a lot of earthquakes in Japan?
Oh yeah, they do a lot. Like
Mm.
the year that we arrived, 2011, there was this huge earthquake in the north with the tsunami. So
Right.
actually, that was in March. So a lot of people moved out of Japan because they were scared. Also because of the nuclear power plant by TEPCO was spilling a lot of waste. So it was all um, polluting the sea. So people were scared, like, "Oh, maybe we can't drink the water, we can't eat the fish, maybe the vegetables will be contaminated. So let's go back to Europe or United States or wherever."
Got you. Now, you had mentioned trying to learn Japanese. Would you say it's a hard language to learn, or is it kind of easy?
It depends on how you look at it. So the benefits of the Japanese language is that it's very concise and very straightforward, and everything is about rules. So my native language, Dutch, has a lot of exceptions to the rules, which makes it quite hard because the grammar, you learn a rule and then it's like, "Oh no, there's actually these three exceptions that we use
Right.
in this and this situation." And Japanese language doesn't have that. So if it's a rule, it's a rule, and it's always a rule, no exceptions. So that part is easier to grasp, I suppose. So as long as you learn the rules, you will learn the language. But
Okay.
Japanese has a lot of levels of politeness, so you can say the same thing in many different ways, which makes it hard. Also, it doesn't have that many sounds, so uh, it's very easy to words will maybe sound the same, but they'll have a completely different meaning. So, like kisaten is kind of coffee place where you can read magazines, and
Right.
kosaten is a pedestrian crossing.
Oh,
So
then so say the first one again, because I thought you said the same thing twice just now.
yeah, so kisaten and kosaten.
Oh, Kissington and Cossington.
Yes, and there's
Okay.
suika and there's suka.
Okay.
So one is a watermelon and the other one is transportation card. So there's a lot,
Interesting.
yeah, lots of things like that. So that makes it kind of hard because my language has a lot of sounds, so to me it feels like there's more of a distinction between the words, whereas
Right.
in Japanese it just sounds all the same to me. So, and then
I
there's the
got
characters, so yeah, it's a hard language.
you. So what means did you go about learning it? What did you have like a tutor or was it like a program that you use?
Well, I started off by just listening to MP3s back then on my iPod on the way to work. Primslur Japanese. But the
Right.
thing is, they don't explain anything. So basically, it's a conversation and they break it down into different parts, and then you have to repeat after them. And then afterwards, they start asking you questions. So they
Mm,
will say, like, how do you say good morning in Japanese? And then you need to say the answer. Obviously, they're not going to check you, but
yeah. Right.
so I learned these situational conversations, and then I came to Japan and I thought, okay, so now I can use this kind of conversations in real life. So I had learned if someone asks you, how are you? The question is, O genki desu ka? And then the correct answer would be, genki desu, okage sama de. But actually, the last part, the okage sama de, is very typical Japanese. So people would start laughing hysterically when I say that, and I would be like, "Huh? What's going on?" That's how I learned it. So I'm assuming this is right, no? And they said, no, it's so typical Japanese, and it's very formal. We wouldn't use it in normal conversation. So for you to be blonde and Caucasian and to use this type of language is very funny to us. So every time I walk past, they were like, "Oh, here she comes. Do it again, do it again, do it again."
Right. So what exactly did that mean?
So okage sama de means thanks to you. So basically, someone asks you, how are you? And then you
Right.
say, I'm good, thanks to you.
Got you. Okay. So, you know, it's crazy. Just hearing you say a couple of words and phrases definitely makes me want to learn it. You know, I have a program called Babbel,
Mm.
and you know, I haven't been on it in a while, but it's very useful. Now a couple of years ago, I used another one called Rosetta Stone,
Oh
which
yeah, I
which is
do too.
which is very good. So Rosetta Stone was really good, but it drew me crazy because
Mm.
you know you have to have a microphone and stuff, and if
Mm.
you don't know how to roll your tongue, it'll constantly tell you guess again or try again, wrong, that's wrong, try again, and or they ask you to enunciate, and I'd be like, I'm trying my best, so I still cannot roll my tongue. So Rosetta Stone is a little bit more difficult, whereas
Mm.
Babbel Babbel doesn't force you to be that precise.
Mm.
But it teaches you. So I had bought a notebook, and you know, each lesson I write it down. Now they do have live classrooms you can do with Babbel. I haven't done none of those, but it's very interesting learning different languages. I worked with this girl that knew 6 languages, and I was like, that's amazing.
Insane,
That's
right?
amazing.
Yeah,
Insane.
I lived in China for 6 months as a
Mm,
student, and then I had to learn Mandarin, obviously. But that language is even more difficult pronunciation wise because it has the tones.
right,
So you can have the same word, but just pronounce it slightly different, and it has completely different meaning. Like if you want to ask a question, or let's say like "excuse me," it
right,
will be "请问." But that sounds very rude because we're used to, if you ask a question, that you go up
right.
in tone. So you would say "请问," but that actually means instead of asking a question, it's "can I kiss you?"
So what would that be the response?
So in the beginning, I was walking around. I was like, "Jingwen, Jingwen, Jingwen," and people would grab my book and be like, "Show me what you want to say," because I'm pretty sure that what you just said is not what you actually mean. And I would point, and they're like, oh, you want to ask a question? Oh, okay. And then it took like 2 weeks. I was there 2 weeks before my lesson started. And then my
Right.
teacher was explaining the difference. I'm like, oh
Right.
my God, I've been asking everyone if I can kiss them. My goodness.
Yeah, that had to be awkward once you knew that. That's yeah. So,
Yeah,
um,
fortunately, I didn't get into too much trouble with it. But a friend of mine who is who tried to say that to airline attendant, he got
right,
slapped in the face because he said it the wrong way, and she thought that he actually meant it.
right.
He didn't.
That's insane.
Yeah, she couldn't distinguish. So he was Dutch-born Chinese. So she
Oh,
thought like he was actually asking whether he could kiss her. So yeah, not a good
yeah,
thing.
that had to be awkward, especially if it was a lot of people that was witnessing that. I couldn't imagine. I know that'll mess with my mental a great deal.
Yeah,
I'll be so
exactly.
embarrassing.
Mm.
Now you're a book author. Can you tell us what kind of books you've written and where we can find those?
Well, I'm still in the process of publishing my first novel. It's called Sushi, Sarcasm, and Second Chances. The release date is for February 2026. The main character is called Nicole, so it's kind of based loosely on my life. So
Okay.
some of the characters are an amalgamation of different people I know. So it's kind of like my story moving to Japan. What's it like to live in Japan? All the oh, someone wants to say hi. I hope you don't mind.
No, I
This is
don't mind. That's a big cat. What kind of cat is that?
a Scottish Fold.
A Scottish fold. Wow.
Yeah, he
It,
always
it,
wants to be the center of attention.
it's okay. That's a big cat.
Yeah, he is. He's a big boy.
He eat a lot.
Oh yeah, he does. He's always complaining that he wants food. So you know
Yeah, that's
what they are. Just they only want food and then to be left alone.
yeah, like Garfield. A lot of food. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. And lots of pets. But
Yeah.
yeah, so basically it's about my life. So all these situations that I'm in the supermarket and there's this huge aisle of rice and I need to buy rice and it all looks the same. So I just grab one and go and then come home and my husband would be like, that's mochi rice. That's for dessert. We can't just eat it normally. Why did you get that one? Come on, are you stupid? Like there's like 50 different kinds of rice. How am I supposed to know? I can't read what's on there. Just grab one and went. So if you
That's
want the right one, you should buy it yourself. It's like, I can't even send you out to get some normal rice. You're hopeless.
that's interesting. So it's several different rices.
Oh yeah. There's polished rice, there's unpolished rice, there's mochi rice, there's all kinds of different uh
Wow.
types
That's
that you can buy and different qualities. And yeah, the Japanese people are very particular where it comes to rice.
I see that. I see that. And now it's crazy because you said the ones for like dessert are rices for dessert.
Oh yeah.
Now you like that's is that like short grain or long grain rice?
Short grain. So
Short.
basically it's glutinous rice, so
Okay.
it has a lot more starch than normal rice. So you cook it and then you pound it with a hammer and then it becomes kind of doughy, and then you can do sweet bean paste inside and eat it like that or grill it or steam it.
Nice.
Yeah, Japanese people love that as a sweet.
So all right. So as far as your writing, right? What are some of your highs and some of your lows as far as the writing process?
Well, I guess the lows would be when you're in the story so much, it's really hard to kind of look at it objectively. So
Right.
sometimes you just need to put it away for a bit, so you
Mm.
can look at it with fresh eyes. And also, it's very important to have a good editor who can give you proper feedback and tell you, like, okay, this page 6, third paragraph, this part, take it out or change it or whatever. um, so yeah, that's very important. And also asking feedback from friends, like, do you think it's interesting? Is it too lengthy? Is it too detailed or not detailed enough? Does it make sense?
Right.
So yeah, that really helps. And the highs, yeah, I guess it's very cathartic to write down your own story and to kind of make sense of everything that's happened in your life and kind of come to terms with the things that were maybe not so nice.
Got you. Now, what makes it more interesting is um in asking you that, right? Like I'm currently working on my own book, my first book to be published.
Hmm.
It's an autobiography. And it's crazy how you say, like, sometimes you got to take a step back. Now, I haven't written my book in like maybe like 2 weeks. I think, like, I haven't written a page. Haven't even picked it up to try to even type anything. For different reasons though. I wasn't like doing my podcast because I was so consumed with the book. And my younger brother was like, "You trying to do too much at one time?" And I was like, "No, I got it." But I had to learn the hard way that, like, trying to do podcasts, trying to write my book, try to focus on establishing a food truck, try to take care of my kids, and try to work. It was way too much. So
Yeah.
it's my autobiography. So some of the lows for me was finding the time, right?
Hmm.
Like, I in my mind, I had a simple formula. I was like, okay, if I just do 2 pages a day
Hmm.
and try to focus on like 14 pages per chapter, I should be able to have a chapter done a week. So in my mind, because I like to compartmentalize things, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's very simple. That's very doable. I can do it.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it was quite simple. So the
Uh-huh.
problem I had ran into was because I have like an outline, like what each chapter should be about or what I want it to be about. So
Mm.
as I'm doing it, and then say if I go from chapter 1 and now I'm in chapter 3, I'm like, I think I mentioned this in chapter 1 already. So
Yeah.
then I get sidetracked by going back and say, let me just breeze by. Let me just
Yeah.
skim read it and see if I touched on this already. And
Uh-huh.
then that put my timetable behind. And then there might be other things that happen, like, yeah, I get called into work early, or my kids get sick, or whatever the case may be. And next thing I know, I look up, I'm like, dang, it's the end of the night. So for me, like, my moment of peace to work on the book was
Mhm.
early in the morning, and then late at night. I'm a night owl. I'm normally up like between 3 and 4 in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and that's when I was writing it. But then I started getting fatigued. It's hard for me to stay up now. So now I
Yeah.
lost that. And I keep saying, okay, well, tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow I'll get back to it. So I haven't done that yet, but I do plan on picking back up. Like, in my mind, I say Monday. Monday, I'll start back with the book because I want to get it done. I'm almost done with 10 chapters. And my goal is to have 16 chapters done. So I do need to
Oh,
work on
okay,
that.
my gosh, I'm already at 70.
You said 17 or 70?
70, 70.
Oh my God. In one book? 70
Yes,
chapters?
yes.
How long are these chapters around?
Just a few pages. They're not that long. Actually,
Okay.
I'm trimming everything down so that every chapter only has like the highlights.
Okay.
Because my editor said you're way too descriptive. You can cut it down. This is not necessary. You need to set the scene, and you have to have the most important points, and the rest is all fluff. So take out the fluff. So I'm going through it again, and I'm
All
taking
right.
everything out. So.
And, and I'm glad you said that because that's another thing. I I'm an overthinker. So
Mhm,
as I'm reading it, right? Because after I complete each chapter, I reread it from the beginning to the end.
mhm.
And then I second guess myself, is it too detailed? Did I add too much? Do I need more? And then I'll be asking people, hey, are you a reader? They're like, yeah. I'm like, would you like to read my chapters as I complete them? And I have like 10 people that say yes, but my problem is this: like, I'm working on getting this published, and I don't want to give it out for free, not the whole thing. So then I was like, well, maybe I just do that for a couple chapters. But then again, I'm an overthinker. I'm like, nah, because now I'm giving away my hard work for free, and I don't
Yeah.
be able to do it. So I haven't had nobody read it yet. I had somebody read maybe like 2 chapters.
Yes.
And then I say, just give it to me raw, right? No sugarcoat nothing, don't water it down. If it's too much, tell me. If you think I can think something better, tell me. And
Mhm.
I don't. That's one thing is hard for people to do is the honesty. And I'm not saying they wasn't honest, but when they say the word perfect, then I'll be like, nah, they're not being truthful. Oh, it's
Yes.
perfect.
Exactly.
It's nothing that can make it better. And I'll be like this, really, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm at. I just need to get back to it. When I say I'm almost 10 chapters done, it's I have 4 that's 100% complete. Right. It's
Oh,
anyway
great.
the first draft, anyways, and then I have 6 other ones that's almost complete. Like I'm not there yet because my goal was 5,000 at least 5,000 words a chapter. That's my goal. Because when
Mhm.
you type in, and you can look at your word count, and some of the chapters I just can't. Right. Like I said, it's my autobiography. So I had the one chapter was about uh um support that I received throughout my life from unexpected sources or places. And I just couldn't come up with 5,000 words. So it's like 35, 3,500. So I was like, fine. I
Yeah.
can't think of nothing else. Because that's one thing I do too. I try to stretch it. I write it. It
Mhm.
might, if and then I'll try to elaborate on that just to stretch it to get my word count. But if I
Yes,
can't
I
do it, I
know.
can't do it. So
Yeah, I
then,
used to do that too.
so then I go back to, is it too much? I don't know. But yeah, that's my story. Not to take away from yours, but yeah. So
No,
it's kind of just
no.
as soon as I seen that you was a book author, I said, "Oh my God, it's something we can relate to."
Yeah, exactly. It's like take out the fluff. If it is it really necessary? Does it add to the story? Does the
Yeah,
reader really need to know this, or are you just trying to stretch it and trying to make it more poetic? So
yeah,
at some point they're gonna get bored. So it's better not to put too much descriptive information in there if it's not necessary and it doesn't help the scene.
right. And that's another thing too, because I've bought a lot of literature on how to do it properly, like right. And so that's what they say. Even though it's an autobiography, they say you still should incorporate some kind of storytelling in there.
Oh
So I
yeah.
had some of that. So I remember my mom. I have one chapter is just about my mom. The whole chapter is just about my mom.
Wow.
And soon as she knew that it was about her, she said, I want to read it. So she
Yeah.
started reading. She said, I'm only gonna read like 2 pages. And she kept reading. I'm looking at her. I'm like, what do you think? She's like, it's very good, son. And it made me feel real good. I'm like, oh my God, you like it? She's like, yeah. I was like, cool. I'm on to something here.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's that. So I so are you going through a publishing house or are you going the self-publishing route?
Well, I'm working with Atmosphere. So it's a publishing house, but basically they have all these services that they offer you, and
Mm,
you, as an author, have to pay for the services because as a first time author, usually they uh, tend to take advantage of you and give you very lowball offer. So yes, I'm paying for the marketing, I'm paying for the editor, I'm paying for everything, but at least I'm going to get 100% of the proceeds. So
right.
they're not taking anything away from me, and I know that it's a great story and it's going to do well. So I have faith in my story and I have faith that people will want to read it. So I rather go that route than to play it safe and only get like $2,000 for all of my efforts, and then the publisher makes most of the money because the book is doing really well.
And that's and that's the thing because I learned a lot going through this process. I done reached out to the most popular publishing houses, some that's like a step down from that, and I've learned a lot, such as it's expensive. And I said, how is it my story? How am I putting my blood, sweat, and tears into writing this? Something that I have passion for, something that I love, and you charge me all this money. My first offer, right? Granted, it was Simon and Schuster. It's one of the top 3 publishing houses, and they told me $8,000. And I said, "Come again?
Yeah.
$8,000?" I was like, "Why am I paying you $8,000?" They said, "For your marketing,
Yeah.
for your book signings." And I was like, "That's a lot of money." So then I was like, "All right, I'll get back to you." But I already knew in my mind that I wasn't going to do that. Then the next one, I went to the Penguin something that
Yeah. Yeah.
again they asked for like 9,000. I say, God. So I said, all right, let me go to a little lesser known. And now that was like $5,000. The lowest one I got was 3,000. So I'm like, shucks, should I do that? And I'm like, I will have to invest. Then I was like, I still have time before it's done, because my deadline originally was October 20th. Now I'm saying by the end of the year, it should be done. And then as far as editing, I'm doing that myself right now. Because even the editor is a lot of money.
Yeah.
The editor I was talking to, they said $800 a week. I said $800 a week. I'm not rich. So that was a little discouraging, right? I sat there many nights saying, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do this. But what I came out with was this. I said, this is my story. I believe in it. And even if I don't write another book, allow me to just put this book out there. So if I had to pay the money just to get this one book out, I was like, I'm willing to do it, because for me that's a feat, right? I will feel accomplished. I will feel on top of the world just to get it out there. So I was like, let me just get this out there. Yeah, my own book, my name on it, the whole shebang, and the credits. I was like, the notoriety that I would get from having that is exceptional. So that's my focus. I said, let me just worry about one thing at a time. They say you got to crawl before you walk. And who knows? The next one might not be that much.
Yeah,
so, But I also want to do the self-publishing. I want to go through a publishing house, and I want to do the self-publishing. And one other thing that I learned was this. I didn't know that, say if you go to one publishing house and you get it published, I didn't know you can't go with nobody else. All like 8 different people I spoke to, they was like, you got to sign this agreement that you cannot work with anybody else. Now, self-publishing is different because you're working for yourself, but you cannot get it published here and then go somewhere else and get it published. I said,
well, I guess maybe it depends on the area. Like, you probably won't be able to publish in the United States with 2 publishing houses, but if you have one, for instance, in the United Kingdom and one in United States, then it's probably not so much of an issue, because it's different regions.
I got you. Okay. So anything else you want to tell us about your writing process?
Well, there's one thing I can really recommend. I use Perplexity. That's another AI. It's kind of like ChatGPT. So once you finish your entire manuscript, you can upload it on Perplexity, and you can ask it to comment as an editor and give you feedback on what works well, what doesn't work well, what you can improve on. It's not very detailed where it goes like, rule number 5, page 8, paragraph 3. So it's not like that, but it does give you like some global things, like, this character needs some more backstory, or this storyline works very well, or you need to cut down on this, or so. So I can definitely recommend that as an editor.
Okay, yeah. So I just wrote that down. I'll definitely check that out. Now, does that work with all different genres, or is it specific?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you need to give it a good prompt. So you need to tell it what you expect it to do. But then it gives you a lot of advice on how to change the story. Like, are the chapter headings okay? Are the chapters too long or not long enough? What about the title? So you can ask it lots of questions to see what it thinks. And then, of course, it's up to you whether to change it or not.
Gotcha. That's very interesting. So I'm definitely going to check that out. Like I love my title. If it started out as just to give it a title type of thing,
Yeah.
it's called Let's Be Honest. So
Oh,
then I'm always creative, and I'm looking for other ways to be creative. So the opening line for each chapter, the opening sentence, should I say, it has to have "Let's be honest" in there.
oh, that's interesting.
So whatever the chapter is going to be about, I say something about because let's be honest.
Yeah.
And so to me, I was like, yeah, I like that. And then my plan. A lot of people told me not to because they said it'd congest the book. But my plan was to have after each chapter one poem after each chapter, because I also like poetry. I love poetry, and a lot
Ooh.
of people feel like it'll be congested. But again, I think I'm gonna do it, and then if my editor says it's too much, then I'll take it out. But that's my plan right now.
Hmm. Sorry, a friend of mine is in my house, and there's a mirror behind me. So she was walking around naked. So she thought she would be on the podcast naked. Unfortunately, it's blurred out. So she was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh wow, that's that would have been that would
Interesting, though.
um. So can you tell us about the brands that were created from your passion in Japan that
Oh
you
yeah,
spoke about
sure.
before?
So I started Tokyo Tours. I was a sole tour guide in Tokyo, and I didn't have any ambition. I just thought I'm going to be doing guided tours in Tokyo, hence the name.
Right.
But then 3 months in, I got an email from a girl, and she said, "Oh, I see that you offer guided tours. Would you consider hiring me?" And then I thought, I never considered hiring anyone, but do I get this straight? You will be working and I'm going to get paid? And she was like, yeah, that's generally how that works. So I was like, ooh, that sounds amazing. Why not? Yeah, come work for me. And then it kind of spread out because I started working with travel agents, and they were like, okay, Tokyo is nice, but what about Kyoto? What about Osaka? What about Takayama? What about Hiroshima? What about Nagasaki? So now, after 12 years since I started Tokyo Tours, I have 75 guides working for me, spread
Wow.
out over Japan. And in 2018, I was considering selling the business.
Mm.
So I spoke with one of my guys and I asked her, would you be interested in maybe taking over the business from me? And she said, that sounds like a terrible idea. I don't want to do that. But I would be interested in becoming your partner. And then I
Right.
thought, okay. I hadn't considered that, but let's talk about it. What do you have in mind? And since 2018, we do it together. So we have a 50-50 split for the profits. And she does all the things I hate and I'm not good at and I don't want to get involved with, and vice versa. So anything she doesn't want to do, she throws it over the hedge to me and like, you sort it out. If you want to do something with it, go ahead. So
Right.
it's perfect. She's the head of operations. She does all the onboarding, and I'm more the face. I do all the PR, the marketing, the social media, and yeah, that's how we keep each other balanced.
Nice. Nice.
And yeah, and because I started Tokyo Tours, I came to the conclusion there's basically two ways that you can travel to Japan. So one way is maybe a travel agent will book everything for you, but then you are in Japan and you're up to your own devices and you have to figure things out on your own. And many people think, oh, but there's Google Translate and there's Google Maps, so it's no big deal. But like Shinjuku Station has 90 different exits. So when you walk
Mm.
around with your phone, Google Maps will be like, beats me. I have no idea where you are right now. So good luck figuring out where to
Great.
go.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because
I
there's so
couldn't
many
imagine.
tall buildings, and Shinjuku Station has like 5 floors. So yeah, the figuring out where to go, you can wander around for hours there.
Mm.
Uh, and Tokyo Station is the same. Shinagawa Station is the same. So yeah, I noticed that a lot of my clients were really struggling. Like, how long does it take to get somewhere? How much time do I need in this place? Should I stay here longer, or should I leave early and have more time in the other place? So that's when Elite Travel Experience was kind of born. Because the other way to travel is that you're stuck inside a bus with like 20 to 40 other people, and there's a tour leader that's constantly like, okay, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, we need to go, we're going to the next place, stop taking pictures, you need to go to the bathroom, I don't care, we're leaving. So it's either really rushed and you just go from place to place, and they herd you into this souvenir shop because the tour leader will get the commission, or it's like, yeah, figure it out on your own, good luck.
Got
So
you.
yeah, Elite Travel Experience is right in the middle. So what we do is we have private drivers, we have small groups, so 2 to maximum 6 people. Is that me? Oh, yes, that's me. Sorry.
What happened?
Yeah, I had a phone call, but it's
Oh,
all
okay.
good. Ah, no, go away. Let me get back to the window. Anyway, so Elite Travel Experience is in the middle of that, and we have cars for 2 to 6 people. And what we do is a private driver will come and pick you up. Um, he will bring you to your hotel that we obviously arrange for you, and then every day the driver will take you to different places. You will have a set itinerary, and you have the freedom and flexibility to still do your own thing. So because it's small group, it's either you and your partner, or you and your family, or maybe there's one more couple there, then you can say, oh, actually, let's stay here a bit longer, or I'm getting tired, I want to go back to the hotel. Or even lunch, we don't include lunch for the specific reason that you have more options of choosing what you want to eat. So the driver will just drop you off in an area with different types of restaurants, or will drop you off at a specific restaurant if you say, I want to eat sushi, or I want to eat teppanyaki, or whatever you want to eat. So you have both the freedom and the flexibility on one side, and it's very hassle free, and it's, you don't really have to think, everything's taken care of. You have a 24/7 concierge service, so if you have any issues, you can just send a message or have a quick call, and we will work it out for you. So yeah, I'm very excited about this new project because there's no one else in the business doing this. And Japan is only the first step. We're going to roll it out to Vietnam, China, and
Mm.
Korea next. So yeah, it's gonna be big.
I like that. I like that. Do you have any siblings?
Yes and no.
Mm. What
So
that mean?
yeah, I was adopted as a baby. So
Okay.
my grandparents put me in an orphanage. So I spent some time in the orphanage, and then I was adopted. So I had a half sibling who unfortunately passed away. And I had 3 brothers that were from the family that adopted me. So they're not my biological.
Biological.
Um, but yeah, after the parents that raised me passed away, I kind of lost touch with them. So I don't really talk with my the family that raised me much anymore.
Got you. Okay. So what do you do for a living? If it's anything that's other than your business, your travel business.
Nothing really. So with Tokyo tours, we average around 500 tours a month.
Okay.
Um, and like I said, my partner is responsible for operations, so that gives me time to start a new elite travel experiences and write my book. So that's all I do, really.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
Yes, I do. I have a daughter. She's 11 years old. But unfortunately, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, I
Mhm.
was kind of thinking, what am I going to do? Um, so my business went bankrupt because it's tourism, and
Right.
the border with Japan closed. And then I was thinking, what am I going to do? I don't know how long this pandemic is going to last. Getting an office job in Japan is quite hard and doesn't pay very well, and the hours are really bad. So, if I go back to Amsterdam, it will be easier for me to find a job. My background is in marketing, I studied economy. So, I thought I'll just go back to Amsterdam. So my daughter came back with me initially, but she really missed Tokyo and all her friends and her life there. So after 1 year, she decided she wanted to go back to Tokyo and live there. So this year, I've been to Japan 3 times to see her. So yeah, it's really hard not being with my daughter, but yeah, it's the best for her and it's the best for me because yeah,
So you
I
currently you currently live in Amsterdam?
yes, I live in
Oh,
Amsterdam.
okay. Got you, got you. Okay. I heard a lot of things about Amsterdam, but I've never been out the country, so maybe one day. Uh,
Yeah, I mean it's very interesting, I would say, because we were the first country in the world where cannabis was legal, but it's
mm,
kind of a weird system. So, um, as an individual, you can buy cannabis legally.
right,
You are allowed to have a certain amount on your person. You're allowed to smoke it, but you're allowed to sell it from a shop, but you're not allowed to grow it.
right.
So the
Interesting.
growing part, the wholesale part, that's still illegal. So it's kind of, yeah, but how are these shops going to get their
Yeah,
supply? Oh, if they don't
right,
get the
right.
supply, how can they sell? So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, a lot of tourists come to Amsterdam specifically for that because apparently
Yes.
we have the best cannabis in the world, and we're very good at agriculture and getting making different strains and all of that. So that's
Right.
interesting. And
Yeah,
also,
you guys are also the home of brothels. I got a lot of brothels out there.
yeah, exactly. Red light district is very famous. So all the women working there are law abiding, tax paying citizens. So it's all regulated.
Oh, so it's regulated. I didn't know that. I just thought that was like an underground thing.
No,
That's
no, not at all. It's very regulated. So it's safe and it's yeah, you know what to expect, and everyone is like, "Yeah,
yeah.
is
It's
what it
interesting
is."
because when you watch these movies, like I said, I never in a million years would have thought it was regulated. Because you watch these movies and you're like, that's insane. Because over here in the states, that's a no. They be like, oh nah, can't have no brothels. Like it's a crime. But it's that's amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, we are very open-minded. There's many swinger places because Dutch people like to do that. Uh, like prostitution is legalized. Smoking weed is legalized. We are the largest exporter of ecstasy in the world.
I didn't know that one.
Although that's not legal, though.
Oh, it's not legal. Okay.
That's not
I,
legal.
I I thought you was about to say it was. I'm like, that's dang, that's shit. Everybody about to move to Amsterdam.
Yeah, well, there is one caveat. So if you go to a festival or you go to a party and you have some drugs with you, then there's different stations where you can get the drugs. You take a little piece and you get it tested, and they'll tell you whether it's good or not. And they will say like, oh, maybe it's cut with something bad, I wouldn't take it. Or they say, oh, it's fine, just take it. So even though
Interesting.
it's technically not legal, but if you have only small amounts, then you can get it tested, and they'll tell you whether it's safe or not to use.
Wow. A lot of people going to listen to this and they're going to say, "Oh my God, I gotta go to Amsterdam." That sounds like everybody's dream.
Maybe.
She loves it. So okay, so I got a good question. So we mentioned the husband. Are you still married or no?
No, no, no. I mean, I knew that he was cheating on me, but he was never home. He was always working or out. And after my daughter was born, we basically started sleeping in separate bedrooms. So I
Mm.
said, well, he has his life, I have my life. I don't really have to see him much. He's paying the bills, so it's fine. But then 2020 came around and he was there all the time, like, so it was just driving me insane. So one day I was like, this guy has to go. So he fell asleep with his phone on his face, and he forgot to lock it. So I took the phone, I went through it, I took
Oh,
photos of anything incriminating, like love hotels he went to, conversations, photos, everything, his browser history, everything. And I was so filled with adrenaline that night I couldn't sleep. So I was sitting next to him in the bed the next morning. So he woke up and he was like, what are you doing here? Normally you're never in bed with me. So I was just sitting there like this, and I said, you know what, I don't know where you're gonna sleep tonight, but it's not gonna be here. So grab your shit and go, because I don't want to see that ugly face of yours anymore. And I said, I'm going back to Amsterdam. I'm taking the kid, and that's what's going to happen. So he said, okay, fine. If that's what you want to do, then you'll do that. But you'll be going back without any money. And
mm.
I said, well, if that's what you want, if that's your dream for your daughter and me, then go ahead, do your worst. So he cleared out my
Oh
uh,
man.
business accounts.
Oh man. Yeah, that's tit for tat. That's crazy. Very
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. He said, why don't you just take one suitcase and put all your other stuff in boxes and label it, and then I'll send it to you later, because that's easier for traveling. You're traveling with a kid. Don't take too much stuff. I said,
Right.
yeah, that makes sense. But then as soon as I left, he just threw everything out. So there's no,
Oh man.
yeah.
How's he bit? I don't know how he was so bitter though after he got caught. Like you get caught, sometimes you just gotta own it. You might not like the situation. You gotta take accountability. Just like, you know what, you got me.
Right?
To be that bitter, that's insane. Did you
Yeah.
ever do anything with this stuff that you saved from his phone?
Well, I threatened to send it to HR, and then he said, "Oh, I'm going to sue you for libel. So if you do anything with that, you will get sued." So, and Japan's libel law is no joke. So I thought, okay, maybe I shouldn't do anything with it then.
And that's
Yeah.
crazy. So speaking about Japan though, is it expensive to
Um,
live out there or to
It depends, really. The wages are not that high, so average wage is somewhere between 2,000 and $2,500 if you're just a normal office worker, which isn't great. And apartments are quite expensive, so
Mm.
you'll probably have a very long commute. So maybe 1 or 2 hour commute is not uncommon. Also,
Wow.
Saturday is not necessarily a free day. So some offices will uh, make you come to the office on Saturday as well.
Mm.
And still you don't get paid all that much. But cost of living, I think, is not that expensive. So many people live in very small apartments. They don't really have a big kitchen, nor do they have the time to cook very extensively. So going out to dinner is actually quite cheap. So for $6, sorry, you can have a whole set meal with rice and some meat or fish and some vegetables or salad. So food is not that expensive, unless you want to eat Western food. So like European cheese or wine or pesto. Yeah, that stuff is expensive. But like Japanese rice, Japanese vegetables, Japanese cuisine, that's all quite cheap.
Now, before when you said expenses like 2,000, what do you mean, like $2,000 a month? Is what you mean, or okay, 2,000? Okay, interesting. I mean, because that's one thing too, man. Like, it's a lot of places I would like to travel, and like Japan it's definitely probably in the top five. And I was always curious. My younger brother was in the military, and
Mhm.
he'd been to Japan several times. He actually had a house out in Japan at one point. And at one point, he was like, "I'm gonna move out there." I'm like, "What?" So
Yeah.
obviously, the only thing I had to go on was what I see on TV, movies, things of that nature. But he told me that Japan looks like a cleaner version of New York. And he showed me some pictures, and I was like, "That's not Japan." He's like, "No, it's Japan. It's not like how I see it in movies, from what he showed me, anyways." So I thought that was
Well,
interesting.
the thing is, Tokyo is the world's second biggest city in the world. So Mexico
Right.
City is the first, and Tokyo is the second. So if you take Greater Tokyo, there's like 36 or 38 million people living there. So there's many different areas. So there's like if you go to Shibuya, that's kind of like Times Square.
Right.
So yeah, they will have a very New York kind of vibe, but then there's also more quieter areas like around the Imperial Palace or around Yoyogi Park. That's kind of like what's it called again, the big park in New York?
Central Park.
Central Park. Yeah, kind of like Central Park. um and there's the financial district in Choda Ward with a lot of high rises and a lot of finance bros working there. So there's so many different places. Like Ginza's very upscale shopping area, and then there's Shimokitazawa that's kind of grungy and has lots of tattoo parlors and
Mm,
gambling dens. So it really depends on what area you're in. Like from one place to the next is going to be completely different.
got you. Um, are you religious?
No, I'm not religious, but I have become spiritual.
Okay.
um I've been lately I've been using ecstasy to meditate. And yeah, I know it sounds weird, but it's very interesting. I've been getting a lot of messages and visions, so I really
Oh,
feel
oh,
some.
you gonna get some visions on X.
Yeah, 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 exactly. So yeah, it's been interesting, yeah, for sure. I mean, they've showed me so many things, like everything is connected basically on the earth. So they showed me the earth, and then with kind of like a net around it that was lit
Right.
up and was moving like that. So basically all the people in the world are connected to each other with kind of like a wire. So if one person pulls on this side, then it has effect on the other side. So even if you feel like, oh, what I'm doing is not really making much of an impact, it can still, like the butterfly effect,
Right.
have a lot of impact. And even from the past to the future, there's lines that, so things that happened in the past can impact the future, so things like that. So yeah,
Okay.
it's been very, very interesting to learn about these kind of things.
Got you. Now we already talked about, one of your biggest interests is travel and culture. So outside of Amsterdam, obviously, and outside of Japan, where
Mm.
else have you traveled?
Oh, well, I've been all over the place. Like the last few months, I've been to Germany twice. I went to Berlin to see Ricky Gervais perform live, which was incredible. And
Mm.
I went to the Kit Kat Club because I wanted to say, I've been inside the Kit Kat Club. But I didn't actually do anything. But
The, the Kit Kat Club, you like the candy or something else?
no, it's something else. It's
Okay,
very
okay.
famous in Berlin. So um, it's a swingers club, but not just for heterosexual people. It's also for gay people. So most people that go there are dressed very extravagantly.
Got
Uh,
you.
and I just went there by myself just because I wanted to be like, yeah, if I'm in Berlin, I need to go inside the Kit Kat Club. I cannot go to Berlin and not go.
Got
So I
you.
was there, and there were a lot of people that were, like I said, dressed with leather and uh, almost naked and like crazy outfits, but everyone was just sitting by the side and just having a drink and talking. Nothing was really happening. So it was already 1:30 or something, and then I was like, I'm so tired, I just want to go back to the hotel. And someone was talking to me in the cloakroom and said, "Oh no, you really need to stay longer because it doesn't happen until later in the night when everyone goes crazy and does all these things, and everyone's having sex with each other." And I'm like, well, I just wanted to be here to kind of soak in the atmosphere, like all the crazy stuff. I don't really need to see that. So I'll just leave that maybe for another time or maybe for never. But I'm glad that I was able to say I've been inside, I've seen it. But I wasn't really there to hang from the chandelier anyway. So I was just dancing, drinking a little bit, and then go back to the hotel to sleep.
So all the viewers, the Kit Kat Club sounds like the place to go.
Oh
You want to
yeah,
have a good time.
yeah. I mean, when I went out, I was approached by so many people. They were like, "Oh, you were inside?" I said, "Oh, yes." "How did you get in?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just walked in." Like, "Oh yeah, we tried to get in, but we were refused." And la 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 la. And how do you get in? Give me some advice. Like,
So
I didn't.
is it how do you get in? Because I was assuming that you can just go in.
Well, um, you either have to be a couple or you have to be dressed very extravagantly and seem like a very interesting person. And as a woman by yourself, if you look kind of cute, then it's no big deal. Then they're like, oh, yeah, you go ahead, fine.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow.
Like man by
Okay.
yourself, then yeah, that's gonna be an issue. So you definitely need a date if you want to get in.
Got you. So where else have you been?
Yeah, I went to Vienna this year. I've
Mm,
been to what's it called? Brazil for a wedding. I've been
interesting.
to yeah, it was super fun. It was a wedding in Sao Paulo, and then we went to Rio and traveled around Brazil for a bit. Um, I in 2023, a girlfriend of mine, she contacted me. She was from Tokyo. I met her in Tokyo, and she said, "I want to go to ADE." So ADE means Amsterdam Dance Event. It's always
Yeah.
in October. So she said, "Can I come over and stay with you for like a week? I know a couple of DJs. I can get backstage access and we can go to these parties. And then you can stand right next to the DJ, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. Come on over, stay at my place. It's fine." So we went to a couple of parties, but I'd never been to this kind of event before. So I had all these uh imaginations what it was going to be like. I thought, oh, it's going to be free flowing bar, there's going to be food everywhere, there's going to be a lot of interesting people, but none of it was true. It was just a bunch of yeah, the influencers taking selfies like, ah, I'm so interesting. And there was no food, no drinks, nothing, only just one small basket for the DJ, and that was it. So I was
Hmm.
standing next to the DJ, and there was like thousands of people looking back at me. I was like, yeah, it's kind of fun, but it's not
Got
really
you.
music anyway. So I turned around and I literally bumped into this guy, and he is Colombian, and yeah, we kind of hit it off. We started talking and started hanging out together, and after ADA, we had a couple of dates. He said, I'm going to go to Colombia for a few months to visit my family. I can work remotely. So if you want, you can come and join me. I'm going to be off for 2 weeks to have a holiday. So for those 2 weeks, you can be with me and we can just have a holiday together. And the rest of the time, then after those 2 weeks, you're going to go back and I'll stay there and come back later. So he thought either she needs to work or she doesn't have the money or both. So this is a very safe offer to make because obviously she's going to say, I won't be able to join you. But I, as an entrepreneur, was like, yeah, actually, winter is my low season. It's very quiet. I don't really have much to do. So I grabbed my phone and I was like, what date? He was like, yeah, maybe first week of January. I was like, okay. And then he was like, what did you just do? I said, I booked a flight. What else? He says, no, you're kidding me. Are you going to Colombia? I said, yeah, you said come to Colombia. Why should I not go? He said, oh my God, you're going to Colombia. I said, yeah. So I went to Colombia to see him. We spent 2 weeks together. And he knows a lot of people in the music industry. So
Right.
he got us a lot of backstage access, passes, VIP entry, all that stuff. So the day I was supposed to fly back to Amsterdam, we went to this party. It was supposed to end at 9 p.m. And the next day I was supposed to fly really, really early from Medellin to Bogota, and from Bogota then to Amsterdam. Uh, so we thought, 9 p.m. is early, so I can still make the flight. It's no big deal. But then his friends said, oh, yeah, there's this after party. Come on, let's go. And then after the after party, there was like, yeah, there's an after party at someone's house. It's going to
Wow.
be DJ. Let's go. And then it was like 6 a.m. in the morning. And we looked at each other and were like, I think I just missed my flight. And he was like, oh, it doesn't matter. You can stay however long you want. So I ended up staying for 2 months in Colombia. And then,
Oh wow.
yeah. And then after 2 months, he was like, um, when were you exactly planning on going back to Amsterdam? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily have to be in Amsterdam. I can be here or I can be there. It's for me, it's no big deal. He said, oh, yeah, because, I kind of still want to spend some time with my family. And, so, I was like, okay, say no more. I will book my flight home and you can have your time with your family. So that's how
Did you
I.
talk? Did you guys stop talking or y'all still talk?
No, actually, he is my business partner for Elite Travel Experiences.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Oh, that's good. I thought
Yeah,
you was
yeah.
going to say that. I thought you was going to say that he just stopped talking to you. I was like, that's crazy.
No, I mean, we had a relationship together, and then after a couple of months, we decided, like, maybe this isn't working very well, and then we just decided to be friends. And then um, he came to Japan, and
Mm,
I showed him around Japan, and that's when the idea was kind of founded. Like, let's do something together. Let's create this business. And his background is in strategy, so he has a lot of corporate experience, and of course, I know a lot about travel and Japan. So we kind of merged it together, and that's how we started the new business.
got you. Okay. So if I was to ask you to list the top 5 places that I should visit, right, what would they be, and in what order, if possible?
Oh my gosh, that's so difficult. Well, for me personally, I really love Koyasan. Koyasan is a place in Japan. Is where Japanese Buddhism was first created, and where Zen Buddhism is from. So it's up a mountain, and it only has these monasteries and has these huge cedar trees. And whenever I go there, I feel so calm, and all the stress and worries kind of slide away, and you just breathe in the nice air, and it's just so relaxing. So that's definitely one of my favorite places. Um, Venice in Italy, of course, is
Mm.
amazing. It's like walking into a fairy tale. Um, where else? Bernkastel in Germany. That's also looks like it's from a fairy tale. Like, if you've seen the movie Frozen, it's
Right,
like walking onto the set of Frozen. It's so amazing. It's so cute. All these little houses and little shops, and
right.
everyone's friendly. Where else? Edinburgh is really nice. If you think
Where's
you
that at?
Edinburgh is in Scotland,
Oh,
so the
Scotland. Okay.
United Kingdom.
Okay.
So even though they speak English, you won't be able to understand anything they're saying. They have such
Right.
a strong accents, like what?
Right.
But still, it's very, very pretty with the castle. And of course, there's lots of whiskey distilleries, so that's also fun to do. Where else? Let me see. Amsterdam, of course. You have to see all the canals, and see the Vondelpark, and we even have our own forest, Amsterdam Forest. And we have a goat farm there, so in spring you can give baby bottles to the goats, which is really fun. And of course, you need to
Interesting.
ride a bicycle and try not to get hit by a tram, which is really fun.
Try not to get hit is fun. Oh my goodness.
Of course. They go ding, 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 and then they'll try and run you over.
Oh my God. So it's crazy. Like, so some of the my top places that's on my bucket list to go are China,
Hmm.
Japan. Always wanted to. It's something about China and Japan, right? Because they both Asian, but I was always intrigued about the differences between the two. So China and Japan was is two. I always wanted to go to Puerto Rico,
Sounds
Egypt. I always wanted to go to Egypt. Um, Italy. I always wanted to go to Italy. Mexico is up there,
uh-huh.
and then probably Africa. I was always wanted to go to Africa.
Oh yeah,
So
Zanzibar is really pretty.
where?
Zanzibar.
Oh, Zanzibar. I heard of it before. So you've been to Africa too? That's crazy.
Well, I've been to Egypt, uh, and although the pyramids are very nice, and uh, museum, Cairo Museum is really interesting, and I've been to Alexandria as well. But I don't really like the mentality that much. So, um, yeah, people tug at your arm and try to get you to buy stuff, and you need to pay the foreigner tax. When you have blonde hair, they immediately assume that you're rich, so they try to get the best of you, and
That's
everything is
crazy.
like 10 times more expensive when they see you're blonde. So I don't like the mentality that much.
So wear a wig is what you're saying.
Well, if you can pretend to look like a local, then maybe it's not that bad. But and speak some Arabic. But yeah, I
Right.
don't like the atmosphere that much. Like for instance, China. I thought everyone is so friendly and everyone is very curious. So Japanese people are very closed off.
Right.
They're like, get out of my way, please don't talk to me. Like, no. But when I was in China, people would come up to me and be like, "Oh, can I take your photo?" And then I thought, "Okay, so you want me to take your picture, right? Give me the camera." And they were like, "No, no, no, we want a picture of you." We're like, "Me?"
Yeah.
Yes.
What they gonna do with it? That's the question. Like, you want a picture? What are you gonna do with it? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
nope.
yeah, yeah. Let's all stand together. Like, okay, fine. So I'm on
And
the mantle of some Chinese people. But yeah, they'll come up to you and just talk to you like, oh, where you're from, and what's it like in your country, and they'll start talking to you. Whereas Japanese people are like, just get out of my way, out of my eyes, don't talk to
gotcha.
me. So it's a
Um.
completely different atmosphere. Yeah.
So, what were some mistakes, surprises, and lessons learned while traveling?
Um, Lessons learned. Yeah, I guess preparation is everything. So yeah, do your research. Like for instance, Japan has very weak medicine because the people are very thin and they're very small. So like Tylenol is so weak compared to Europe. So at one point, I had a double molar infection, and my whole face, I looked like Quasimodo. And I was trying to get some painkillers, and I just couldn't get it. Even at the hospital, they gave me this weak ass stuff. So I was suffering so much. So I was texting my clients, "Can you please bring paracetamol for me because I'm dying? I need some proper drugs to help kill this pain." So yeah, you need to be prepared, like especially where it comes to medicine and drugs. What can you take? What can't you take? Um, and do as the locals do. It's always interesting. Don't go to the tourist traps. See where all the locals hang out. Like we were staying in Ilha Grande in Brazil.
Hmm.
That's like a small island, and the people that were working at the hotel were like, "Oh, why don't you come out with us, and you can hang out with our friends?" And we're like, "Okay, that sounds like fun, let's do it." So there was like a group of maybe 6 people, and they got one bottle of beer, and they were just passing the bottle around. Everyone was taking one sip, and then my husband and I were just looking at each other like, okay, interesting. But yeah, try not to offend people. And if that's the way they do things around there, then just go with the flow. It's fine. It's not going to kill you.
That's crazy you mentioned that because my next question was going to be, um, should people visit tourist spots or should they seek out lesser known destinations?
Well, it all depends on what you want, because I noticed there are lots of people that just want the picture. I
All
mean,
right.
in Japan, you have the bullet trains, the super fast trains.
Right.
So I had one group, and they said, we want to take the fastest bullet train there is in Japan. So I said,
Mm.
okay, that's fine. I'll take care of it. Where exactly do you want to go? And they said, oh, well, it doesn't really matter where. We just want to have our picture taken next to the train and show our friends, like, look, we're taking the fastest bullet train in Japan. Like, okay, interesting. Well, I'll make an itinerary you will never forget and you'll have an amazing experience. So some people prefer to have all their pictures like with the Eiffel Tower and the Big Ben and the uh, little peeing guy in Brussels. And other people are like, no, we want to go to the off the beaten path and the places where only the locals go. Personally, I prefer that. But if you go into the little alleyways behind the main streets, then you usually see a lot more interesting places than all the
Got you.
major tourist.
And that's the thing. A lot of people don't know. Like when you go to these lesser known destinations, that's where the hidden gems are. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
Right? Because
exactly.
we all see the same thing on postcards and movies, but we don't see that like in a lot of these countries it's places that's far more beautiful and scenic. You know, a
Mm,
lot of people they miss out. So that's why I asked you that. Um,
yeah.
in what ways have you explored local traditions?
Well, of course, I got food poisoning in Egypt and Turkey. So be careful in those kind of places. Don't eat any meat. Don't make sure there's no ice cubes in your drink. Don't drink the water. Be very careful. Um, but yeah, I've had so many adventures where I was just hanging out with locals and they were showing me the backsides, like the little alleyways and the little side streets and the little local restaurants, which are way more fun than all the uh, places where all the buses go to. So if you see a lot of touring buses in front of a place, then avoid it like the plague because there's nothing to see there.
So are you a big foodie?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, when I first came to Japan, I was a bit more of a picky eater, and Japan also has a different textures that I had to get used to because slimy is a texture in Japan. So
Right.
there are several types of food that are very slimy, and Japanese people just love them. And the first time I tried it was like, how can you eat this? This is so gross.
Got
But
you.
once you get over it and you start to get used to it, it's like, oh, it's actually not too bad. I would not have thought to eat this, but I can see now why you're doing this. And there's a lot of fermented food as well in Japan, which is really good for your stomach. So, yeah,
So
just try
so
everything.
I'm a chef. That's why I asked that. So I like trying foods from different cultures and different ethnic backgrounds. That's I'm on a quest for that right now. Like I went to two Peruvian restaurants, you know, recently. I went to a Colombian restaurant, and just Sunday, as I was driving home from my son's football game, I seen that in town, well not into my town, but not too far. It's a Vietnamese restaurant. So
Oh,
now tomorrow I think that's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to get some Vietnamese food.
oh,
You like
that's so good. I love Vietnamese food. My favorite is probably tacos. If I could only eat one type of food for the rest of my life, it would be tacos, soft shell tacos for sure. Then there's Vietnamese food. Then there's yakiniku. That's basically you get a little barbecue in your table, and
right?
then you order plates of raw meat, and you make it yourself. It's so tasty.
So I've eaten at a place like that. It was called K-pot, and at first I didn't know how to. I didn't know what to do. It was foreign to me, and it's not too far from here. It's maybe like 20 minutes from here. And yeah, like you said, it's a big old hot thing, and that you order what food you want, but it's all raw. And when it
Yeah.
came, I was like, so I just throw it in here and cook it. They said, yeah. So I started putting it in. I started cooking it. I just threw everything like a goulash, and then what I didn't realize was you don't really want to do that because then it starts sticking because they don't really give you oils and stuff. So I
Yeah,
watched other people and I seen it. I said next time I go there, if I go back, then I do a little at a time, cook this, and I put that on the plate. But the food was good. Like it's you can't get mad at the chef. That's the thing. You gotta get mad at the chef because you are the chef. You cook it. So that
exactly.
was interesting.
Yeah, there's two
Um,
types. There's hot pot, which basically is broth, and you put
right,
everything in the broth,
right,
and it's just cooked. Or you have the barbecue, and that's yakiniku, and then you put all the meat or vegetables on the little barbecue and then eat it. So
right.
that's really good because you have the wagyu beef that is like most amazing melt in your mouth. Oh, it's so good.
See, that's how K-pop was. So I mean, I guess wagyu. I think you got to cook it the right way because I had wagyu from places that, and I just didn't like it. But some places I get wagyu, and I think it's good. So I think it all depends on how it's cooked. Because
Yes.
sometimes it tends to be fatty. I think.
Yeah, it has to be fatty. Yeah.
Oh,
The same.
so it's supposed to. Oh, see,
Yeah, it's supposed to be fatty because Japanese people feel that the fattier, the more flavor. So also the tuna fish, you have the really red tuna that's basically considered the lowest quality, and then you
right.
have tuna that is almost white and is really fatty. That's the otoro, and the other one is just maguro. So the otoro, the really fatty one, is considered the highest quality. So the non-fatty one is considered low quality.
Okay. Now, so go back to the Vietnamese for a second, since I'm gonna go there tomorrow.
Ooh, so
What
good.
what Vietnamese dishes would you recommend?
Pho, of course, the soup. Banh mi is nice. The bread with the meat. The fresh spring rolls are amazing. There's so many good foods in Vietnam. What I like is that they use a lot of fresh herbs, and
Right.
also the broths that they use are really fresh and light. It's not as heavy as some of the European food. So yeah, the only downside is it can be quite spicy. So you have to tell them tone it down with the spices or pick out the peppers if that's not your thing. Otherwise, your mouth will just be on fire.
Gotcha. I'm so excited to try that tomorrow. Like I said, it's like 15 minutes away, so it's gonna be lovely. I just love trying different foods from different ethnic backgrounds. So yeah, that's exciting.
Oh, you love
Um,
it, I'm sure.
how would you say that traveling shapes a person's identity?
Oh, very much, I think, especially if you also learn the language. Um, because if you learn the language, you get a better understanding of what's important to a certain culture and what is not. And I really like the swear words. Like what swear words do they use in different countries? Uh,
Interesting.
so yeah. I mean, if you are in a country that is so entirely different from your own, it really makes you look at things differently. Like when I was in China, I would talk to people for 5 minutes and they would be like, "Oh, come to my house, come, I'll make food for you." And I was like, "Well, I don't even know you. I don't know if it's safe. I don't think
Yeah,
I should
yeah.
do that."
That's
But
weird.
yeah, but they're so open and they're so friendly and so inviting. Whereas in Japan, you can be friends with someone for 5 years, never once go to their home, and then suddenly get a wedding invitation, and you're like, I didn't even know you had a boyfriend or girlfriend. Where did this person come from? Why did you never
Interesting.
mention it? And why did you never introduce this person to me? And like, oh,
Right.
it's private, so that's why I didn't discuss it. Like, but we've been friends
Interesting.
for 5 years. What are you
Now,
talking about?
Now that's strange. I couldn't imagine that. Like that's just weird. Like I think after the first year, if I'm never invited over or something, I think that like it'd be a red flag for me. I think I would be like, okay, this is not my friend. But yeah, if you're saying that's how the culture is over there, then I would have
Yeah.
to come to terms with that. But that's interesting. I learned a lot today. Now how would you say that podcast, YouTube, and streaming shape society?
Sorry, come again?
How would you say that podcast, streaming, and YouTube? How would you say all of that shapes the society?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I mean, well, it's a good thing and a bad thing because when I grew up, there were like two TV channels, and everyone was watching the same thing. So if I speak to people from my generation, it's so easy to connect over like TV shows that you used to watch, or um, music that you were into. Everyone was watching MTV. Everyone was either fan of Madonna or Michael Jackson or George Michael. That was basically the flavors that were available to you. And
Right.
now there's so much to choose from. There's like vloggers and TikTokers, and they all have their own language and catchphrases. Like my daughter keeps coming with this new type of language, and like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're giving me a headache. I don't know what you
Right.
mean. So it's a completely different atmosphere. But I think the good thing is with all the podcasts and all the streamers, there's so much to choose from, and it's so much easier to pick up new things, new information. Like when we were growing up, you had to go to the library and you had to do the index cards
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you had to
yeah.
read the book. And now you can just go online and listen to something for 5 or 10 minutes, and you already are so much more knowledgeable than we were back then.
That's definitely true. All right, so we're about to, come to the conclusion. But anything else you would like to say to the viewers before we close out?
Yeah, definitely come to Japan. It's a very interesting country. It has a very interesting culture. There's so many things to see. Basically, if you take Japan and you stretch it over United States, it goes from New York to Florida or something. So it's a
Okay.
really long, stretched out country. Not many people realize that. So also outside of the Golden Triangle, which is Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, there is so much to see. I mean, Japan has a desert. There's
A desert in
yes,
Japan? That's
yes,
insane.
the Tottori Dunes where they have camels, where you can do camel ride.
That's
Uh,
interesting. I didn't know they had camels either.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's the Kurobe Pass where if the bus goes through the pass, the snow will be piled up higher than the bus. So if
I
you
did
look,
I didn't know it snowed in Japan. I'm learning a lot. This is okay. This is
yeah, yeah. So it's all the way up to the north with the best ski resorts in the world, up to the south with tropical islands, with
wow.
animals that don't exist anywhere else in the world. So there's so much to see and so much to do. So definitely go there at least once.
I'm gonna try. I mean, before I pass, like I said, that was definitely on my top 8 places. Anyways, Japan. Like I said, China is up there too. So China. So which one would you go to first? Which one would you recommend? Japan or China?
Um, well, yeah, I mean, China, there's also so much to see. There's Beijing, there's Shanghai, there's Hong Kong, there's Shenzhen, there's Guangzhou, there's the, what are they called again? The ceramic warriors
Okay.
that are really interesting to see with the no, the other place. Anyway, there's this huge grave, a huge tomb of this emperor or king or something, and he had all these statues inside. of all his warriors. He created them, but in ceramic. So Xi'an, yeah, Xi'an, that's the name. So if you go there, you can see all the different statues, and they all have different faces and different clothes. It's really interesting. So yeah, where to go first? I mean, Chinese walls, very impactful. It depends on how much time you have and what your interests are, I suppose.
Right. Got you. Okay. Okay. Well, that's going to conclude today's episode. We hope all the viewers got something from this, learned something, felt enlightened, felt better than they did this morning, or whatever the case may be. And if you haven't already, continue to share, comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. I'm at 1.2K subscribers. The goal now is 2,000, so I'm hoping to get there in the next couple months. Um, and Nikki, you're more than welcome to come back anytime you want. Just let me know, and we can continue to have conversations like this.
Yeah, I mean, next month I'm going to Barcelona to pick up the Luxury Travel Award on behalf of Tokyo Tours. So I can definitely come back afterwards and tell you all about the gala and who was there and what was happening. So let me know, and I'll make some time for you.
I appreciate it. But all right, so enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll stay in touch.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really enjoyed it.
I appreciate you. Have a good one.
You too.
I'm just calling you.
Yes, I know.
Nikki, you done?
Mm-hmm.
From now on?
Wait.